I'm Kevin Price with your Price Point Edition. Do want to remind you to check me out over there at priceofbusiness.com, which is home for the Price of Business show on Business Talk 1110 AM KTEK in Houston, and also at usdailyreview.com, where I'm publisher and editor-in-chief. A lot of mayhem going on in the country of Turkey. Turkey, famous among Middle Eastern countries for being secular and has been secular since World War I. After World War I, it became one of the first countries in that entire region to say, you know what, if we remain Muslim, we'll be extreme, we'll be like our neighbors. We'll have a difficult thing getting things done and having the pluralism that we want to have. So they became secular. And although it's almost in an overtly, historically has been overtly hostile towards various religions, really and historically, as far as countries in that region, it's really very pluralistic. And regardless of your opinions and your theology, you've been able to live there and have relative tranquility. And that's kind of different from that region. Well, now, with all the incredible disruption that's been taking place throughout the Middle East, recently in democratic elections, in overwhelming numbers, they have elected a pro-Muslim leader who's moving that country towards a religious government, a Islamic government. And the people are up in arms, and it has led to some rather radical anti-religious organizations literally rioting in the streets and the government cracking down. Now, there could be a little bit of reaction formation everywhere. And I need to be careful. I called it riots because that's what the government of Turkey is calling it. But the protesters call it protest, and it didn't get riotous until the government cracked down. You know, if people are being oppressed in their demonstration, they can get a little reactionary along the way. But at some point, we all have to pause and look at that situation. In many ways, with all the problems that Turkey has had historically, it is a model in some ways in the Middle East of avoiding any form of extremism. It has been a country that has been relatively peaceful for much of the last century, simply because it chose to be a more secular type government. And its relationship with Europe and its ability to interact with the economic community of Europe is built on the fact that it is a country that's been tolerant to many different religious worldviews. They are taking overt religious steps in Turkey that is giving more and more homage to Islam. And they are doing things governmental-wise and some of their actions and some of their policies that are looking more and more overtly favorable to Islam. And this is a country that has gone to lengths to not look favorable to any type of religious organization. Is this the direct result of the Arab Spring? Probably. Probably has a lot to do with the Arab Spring, where countries that were secular, in many cases faux Islamic, but much more secular than they were Islamic, were overthrown overnight with governments that were ardently Islamic and anti-human rights if you're a Christian. And so people need to watch carefully. The European community, which has huge amount of influence in Turkey, needs to be monitoring that situation. As of now, those who are vocal against this particular government are few and far between. And the president, or the prime minister rather, has recently been enjoying 80% approval ratings in the polls. Now, some of those polls, you got to remember, may be somewhat skewed. But I've looked at several different polls from different groups, and you're seeing a similar theme. But people need to watch it. It could be the next step in an Arab world that has gone quite crazy. I'm Kevin Price. That's my Price Point Edition. Don't forget to check us out over there at priceofbusiness.com and give me your perspective at info@usdailyreview.com.